Yo, what up guys? Before I start this video, I just want to ask you guys to follow me on Twitter. It will be in the description and on the screen right now. And I know I go days without uploading a video, so if you follow me on Twitter, sometimes you might get updates on why I'm not uploading, and you can also get warnings on when to look out for another video, which video I'm coming out with, and then you can leave a vote and let me know which video you guys want to see. So make sure you follow me, guys. What up YouTube, it's NoChainzz and I am back for another commentary, and this is another episode of my Cincinnati Bengals Connect the Franchise Owner Mode. And right here, right off the bat, you guys are looking at Andy Dalton's contract situation. And speaking of Andy Dalton, he will be benched for this guy right here, Pat White. As you guys see in the title, it is Pat White versus Geno Smith. And as you guys know, Pat White is Geno Smith's predecessor at West Virginia University for the Mountaineers. And I have a few things to talk about, especially because of the last video. You guys know I'm going to have a lot to talk about. But while I do that, I'm going to let you guys listen and look at the stats from around the league, from the NFC. And then I'm going to go on to the AFC a little bit later. And then I'm going to talk about the Andy Dalton situation. And so I'm going to start with talking about the last video I made. I got tons of support. I appreciate that from all my real subs. A lot of you guys let me know that you're real subs and not one of those fake subs who just are, you know, don't even care, you know, or would say anything like that. You know, old hippie, I know you in particular, you're cool, bro, and you're the only person that said something like that that wasn't really negative. I think there was like one other person, and so I appreciate all that. I got tons of support. Some of you guys saying F the hater, don't worry about him. And then yeah, so a lot of you guys came out and commented, and I really appreciate that. What else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, he's gonna be blocked. He will be blocked, you know, so you guys don't have to worry about him. Don't keep responding to him because he's not gonna be commenting on my videos. So I'm gonna block him so that he's out of the way, and anybody else who says anything negative to that extent will be blocked. So just mainly, really, guys, thanks for the support that you gave me on that video. I really do appreciate it. And these stats are going to go on for like another minute or so. A little bit less than a minute, probably. But other than that, Andy Dalton is benched. I'm going to explain my logic behind that. He has 1 year left. We're nearing the trade deadline. He threw 4 interceptions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bench him, right, and I'm going to put in Pat White, and then I'm going to see what type of value we have in Pat White before I trade away Andy Dalton for a draft pick to get Pat White, or maybe another quarterback. I was going to say get Pat White some weapons, but maybe another quarterback to compete with Pat White, because depending on how he finishes out the season, I don't think Pat White will be our definite starter going into next season, unless somehow he wins the Super Bowl, which I think is very possible with the team that he has around him. But I put Andy Dalton on the trading block. I pretty much got a lot of second-round pick offers for him. And I think one of the main suitors for him were the Minnesota Vikings. So you could see Andy Dalton in some purple coming up soon. And I'm not sure if they're on our schedule, so that'll be interesting to see. Alright, so we're going to get into the gameplay now. So the Bengals are 3-0 coming into this game versus the Jets. And the Jets were 2-1 with very high ranked offense and defense. But I'm not sure the defense will be a problem because, as you guys know, Pat White is very, very, very suitable for the offense that I'm running. Andy Dalton was even doing good, and he's not even that fast. But we have Pat White now, a very fast and explosive quarterback, so I think he's going to be better suited for this offense than Andy Dalton. So we're going to see if he can flourish on the ground as well as in the air. But we're going to get into the gameplay. I forgot. We have new sliders, people, because those sliders that I had, they were pretty easy. So what I did was I went on Operation Sports. I found the absolute hardest sliders I could find to make these games very, very hard. Okay, it's Gerard21. He put out the sliders. I'm using his black set. I may use a link in the description, or put a link in the description, so you guys could go check out those sliders. And by the way, I will be keeping the same house rules for the most part, as far as not switching users and calling my own plays. I will be using game flow for the most part, with a few audibles and hot routes. So those are the only house rules that I'm bringing over from the last set of sliders. and I believe these are ratings based. I'm not exactly sure, because if you're playing a bad team, you're gonna dominate, and if you're playing a good team, you may get dominated on any given Sunday. So hopefully this should be exciting to watch. And as you guys see, Pat White is already flourishing in our read option type of playbook, and it's working out very well right now. And he's gonna hit AJ Green and get us down to about the 9-yard line, so he's doing really well. We saw this a lot during the preseason this year. He's gonna run the read option and score his first NFL touchdown of this season. I'm not even sure how he did in previous years. I think he played like 1 or 2 years with the Miami Dolphins, and I don't think he even did good. I think he went to baseball after that. And I did forget to mention the New York Jets have drafted Anthony Thomas out of Oregon, and he rips off a very nice gain right there, getting them all the way to the 16-yard line. So we're going to see if the Jets can capitalize. Geno Smith on the play action is just going to throw this one away, and that will force a 3rd down and 9. And on 3rd down and 9, he's back in the shotgun formation under pressure from Aaron Maben, and EJ Gaines will hit Santonio Holmes in the air and stop that right there. So they will settle for a field goal. Pat White back in the pocket, going to find Tyler Eifert, and that will get us 8 yards, or 9 yards actually, on that play. And on 2nd down and 1, we're going to get stopped trying to run that type of option, and it didn't work out so well, as we were stopped in the backfield for a loss of 3. And on 3rd down and 4, Pat White will throw a very risky pass trying to find Eifert. If the safety had just a little bit more of jumping skills, he would have picked that one off. So we want to see Pat White throw more efficient and how should I say this, more safe passes, because we don't know his skill set yet. We want to keep it short, and we want to take it slow, be patient, and let the offense come to him, let the receivers do the work, because after all, he hasn't been a starting QB for a number of years now. I think he even went to go play baseball for a while. I'm not exactly sure about that. But on 3rd down and 5, Geno Smith will throw a screen to Chris Ivory, and they will be stopped. So they will settle for a field goal once again. So the Bengals hold their lead 7-6 right now. Pat White's going to find Eric Decker, who has been quiet the last 2 weeks, I want to say, and he catches a 13-yard pass right there. And on the ensuing 1st down, we're going to run a counter to the left side with Giovanni Bernard, and he will be dragged on by the face mask by the safety there. I'm not exactly sure who pulled the face mask right there. I'm not familiar with the Jets players. And then Pat White's going to hit a comeback route to AJ Green right there, and we have an injury. Luckily, it is not to AJ Green or Pat White. So on 3rd down and 6, he's back to pass. He's looking. He has a lot of time. He's going to hit Marvin Jones. He's going to try for the safe check down pass, and I'll only get us 3 yards. So we settle for a Zach Hawker field goal. And he has been playing actually very well lately. The first couple weeks, he missed a lot of field goals, but he's picking it up as we're near in the midway point of the season. He's just progressing every game. So he is a rookie, so we have to let our kicker get into his rhythm and let him make some big field goals for us down the road. And on 2nd down and 5, they're going to hit Santonio Holmes on the left side of the field, getting them another 1st down. And on 1st down and 10, Geno Smith is back to fast. He's going to find Jeremy Curley all the way down to the 7-yard line. And on 1st down and goal, Geno Smith is back to pass. He's going to roll out, throw a terrible pass, and it will be intercepted by Sean Williams. And he's been playing some very good coverage lately. And on the next drive, after picking up a couple of 1st downs, Pat White will make his first mistake of the game, trying to throw it deep, and that will be intercepted. And one thing I have to realize when I call plays and make throws with Pat White is that I really need to compensate for his skill set. You know, he's not a deep passer, so I have to keep that in mind when I call the plays, or when I pick the plays and pick which receiver he's going to be throwing to. But we end up getting a fumble, so that will stall their drive. So we go into the 3rd quarter with a 4-point lead, and then he's going to throw a very nice touch pass up to Eric Decker, and that will pick up a new set of downs for this Bengals offense. And up and down day for Pat White so far. Very good on the ground. As you guys see right here, he's going to fumble, and this will be picked up by Brandon Browner. However, we're going to see if his knee was down, and it looks like his knee was down, so they will overturn the call right there. So we get to continue our drive, and we're going to pick up the 1st down with Giovanni Bernard, and that gives him 61 yards on 10 rushes so far this game. And we're going to try to read option again, and look at the blocking by Anquan Bolden. He takes 2 players out of the play and lets Pat White walk into the end zone for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the day. So we've added a whole different dimension to this offense, and that allowed the Bengals to take the lead 17-6 here in the middle of the third quarter, and EJ Gaines gets a tackle in the backfield for a loss, so no gains on Gaines' side. And on 3rd down and 11, he's going to throw up some type of weird pass, and he's going to find Ed Dixon, so that gets him in Bengals territory. And on 3rd down and 4, he's going to throw a touchdown to Stephen Hill. I don't know if it's Stephen or Steven. I really have no idea. I don't know if he cares if you go by both. I have no clue. But they're going to go for 2, and they're going to find Santonio Holmes, and that will cut our lead to 3. And Pat White is just getting tremendous blocking by this receiving core and the offensive line on these rushing plays for him. And we're going to hit AJ Green on the comeback route, and that will force a 3rd down and 1. Later in the drive, we'll force with 3rd down and 6. Pat White cannot find anybody open, and he will be sacked by D. Milliner. And here's Zach Cocker from 50 yards out, and he's going to just barely get this one in. So we increase our lead to 6. So the Jets have a chance to take the lead on this drive. It's a 1-possession game, but last year we played the Jets, and Geno Smith has not learned his lesson. No catch in the hallway without a hall pass. And that would allow Pat White to find AJ Green on the ensuing possession. And look at the great block. And that will allow Giovanni Bernard to get us down to the 7-yard line. And following a delay of game penalty, Pat White's going to find Tyler Eifert, and that will be this close, inches away from a touchdown. But we're going to hand it off to Giovanni Bernard, getting his first rushing touchdown of the day. And we take the lead 26 to 14 as we tried to go for 2 and failed. And Geno Smith is going deep with nowhere else to go, but the QB pains while EJ Gaines, and he will pick off the interception. However, he is injured on the play, and he will only be out for this game. I didn't check the injury report after this. I really should have to keep you guys updated on how long he'll be out, because he has definitely been playing very, very well. That is his 3rd interception on the season for us, only through 4 games. So he's been a big part in why this Bengals defense has been playing very well. Great coverage skills, and we're just going to try to run out the clock. They cannot stop this rushing attack, and Giovanni Bernard gets yet another run with a nice juke move right there, and that run pretty much just sealed the deal. And late in this game, our secondary really picked up. 1 pick by EJ Gaines, 1 pick by Leon Hall, and I was able to seal the game for us right there. They had a chance to take the lead 21 to 20, I think. Yeah, we had 20. They could have scored and got 21 points, and we would have still had 20, and that would have put Pat White in a situation where he had to engineer a game-winning drive. But instead, we got a turnover, took the lead by 2 possessions after we scored and got 26 points. And then following that, he threw an interception to EJ Gaines, and that allowed us to just run the clock out. So, wow, this defense is carrying this team. Pat White looked really good on the ground. I'm not really concerned with his performance through the air, because that will get better. He had a very low QB rating, but he didn't make bad passes. He made 1 bad pass, and that was the interception. And that's because of the play calling. He threw it deep, and he shouldn't be throwing it deep. But right here, you guys get to take a look at the stats. So the Bengals move on to 4-0. So tell me what you guys think. Should Pat White continue to start? Should I trade Andy Dalton and then draft the QB? Tell me what you guys think about the move, and I'll see you guys in the next.